Would you guys ever start accepting cryptocurrencies as payment at one point or another?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not?
I think we're a long ways out.
Do you think one day though? Maybe in 20 years.
You never know.
Well,
Yeah.
how far away do you think we are, realistically?
I don't think in the next 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you guys will. I think in the next 5 you will.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why, because cryptocurrency is not necessarily. I'm not saying take Bitcoin and you guys as a company hold the Bitcoin, but there's intermediary. How do you say the word, bro?
I don't know.
Intermediaries.
I don't even
That's
know
the
what
word.
that means.
Where essentially people will send you the Bitcoin and automatically your POS will then convert it to USD, so you don't deal with the fluctuation of price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you guys have that gate for people who maybe are very, very concerned about their identity and maybe they don't want to swipe with the card, or maybe it's cash. It's a cash business, right?
So I think no.
Wait, so
We accept cards too.
you guys accept cards too? Okay, because that's been kind of like what
We're on
I've
the cutting
noticed.
edge. So we're on another frequency, right? It's hard to compare us to like other dispensaries sometimes, but for a lot of these other stores, it's a timing issue. I think for the crypto side of things with dispensaries and marijuana facilities, I almost feel like the latter states that come in and go legal, if it's not federally legal by that time, then it could happen. I think if it went federally legal, I don't think they're gonna accept crypto.
I think we shall wait and see.
Because it's the banking issue, and that's crypto's edge, in my opinion. But I don't know.
You never know, man. There's a ton of companies, especially in China, that are working on tech right now.
You a big crypto guy?
Pretty big, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Let's
can
not
see
go
it.
down this rabbit hole right now.
Yeah. No, I respect it. I mean, I think that it's there. I just some of these bigger companies have to jump in like us, and I don't know.
Well, it's like you said, because I think crypto is a big market that's a disruptor as well. It's disrupting the way banking happens. Like it completely cuts it out. There's no need for it, right? So my mind just goes a million different ways, thinking how can you incorporate cryptocurrency into local merchants, because the thing is, like, maybe cryptocurrency will never be big here in the United States, right? Because we have banking, we have the day-to-day of like, okay, well, if I need money, I go to the ATM, I go to my bank, it's all taken care of, right? But it's most important where you go to a third world country where maybe they don't have technology, maybe they don't even have a bank in the county, or you know what I mean, then it's a little then it's important. But I don't know, man. You never know. I think people's. I mean, if you think about the fact that we went from a debit card to a debit card that no longer has your information on it, and now it's on the chip, so it's less trackable, right?
Yep.
It shows you a concern globally that there's
now you have your phone and you just go like
right,
that.
and now you have your Apple Pay where you don't even need a card. Now everything's encrypted in your phone, so it's
you see
like
a lot of crypto in the black market.
in the black market.
You see a lot of them using, so it's not traceable.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like a big reason, and one of the biggest, like, not conspiracy, one of the biggest like things in crypto that make people think bad about it is because it's untrackable. So like, oh, so everything, only drug dealers and murderers or whatever go on to use Bitcoin. But you think about it, they said the same thing about the internet when it first came out.
I mean, there's still murderers and big drug dealers using cash, like the regular dollar bill. Like, it don't matter.
Yeah.
And they say it's trackable, but let me see you try to track that.
I think it'd be interesting, at least to open up a discussion, because I mean, even if not using cryptocurrencies, I think using the technology of blockchain. Like, what are your thoughts on blockchain?
I'm nowhere near eligible to have a conversation.
Oh, okay. So for those,
I'm the first one to admit when I don't know.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. No worries.
Explain it real quick though, just for all our new listeners.
Blockchain is just blockchain itself is not decentralized, which is the beauty of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is decentralized, which means nobody holds the authority of it, right? If you have your Bitcoin, there's no one that can tell you that you don't have it, that it's yours 100%. It's decentralized. You don't have to go to a bank to get it. It's yours. Blockchain is a technology that is based on, which is essentially just a peer-to-peer database. It's a ledger. So it's a way of verifying that something exists. Like how do we know that a US dollar exists? Because everywhere you go, there's US dollars. If there's a record for how much of it exists, right? And we all agree that that's worth something because that's what we all agree on.
Value.
We give it the value. So a ledger is just a way of for technology to keep track of things, to say, and it can be used in so many things, from medical stuff to hospitals, colleges. Money is just one aspect of it.
But the whole security side.
Yeah, the whole basically like blockchain technology is a really advanced way of keeping everything on record. Like they're using it for they're starting to use it for gaming, to keep all your information on a ledger. They're using it for education, to keep all your transcripts, so you don't have to go through an actual database of like what if a school loses all its records.
Yeah.
You can't lose it on.
How do you feel about the fluctuation of value?
That's something that comes with it being such a new market.
Okay. Do you think it's leveling out to where it should be, or you think it's
nowhere near where it should
devalued?
Be? It's nowhere near where it should be. If Bitcoin was to be used by as many people that use the US dollar, if one Bitcoin would be roughly equivalent to $1 million, because there's such a little amount of it. I think there's the original amount that will ever exist in the entire history was $21 million. 21 million Bitcoins. Yeah. 21 million Bitcoins will only ever exist. And I think because of the way when it first came out, the 4 million of them were lost forever. So there's no way to get those back. So there's only 17 million Bitcoins. So it going down this rabbit hole. So Bitcoin is kind of like, to hold Bitcoin, you need a Bitcoin address. So it's like a wallet. It's like a wallet, right?
Yeah,
but essentially it's a alphanumerical address with a bunch of numbers and letters. And if you send it to the wrong address that no one has the keys for, like the private keys, which is you have a public key and a private key, and you need both of them to access that wallet. And a lot of people, when Bitcoin first started out and they were getting on it, they would mine 100 Bitcoins or whatever, keep it on their wallet, and then they throw away the computer because they forgot about it. Time went by, they threw it away. It wasn't worth anything. It was worth
13 cents.
It was worth like 13 cents. They threw it away. That's 1,000 Bitcoins. So there's just a lot of addresses that cannot be accessed, and
they estimate about 4 million are inaccessible because of those.
Because of all that stuff. And it could have been people sent it to the wrong address and nobody knows where that address is at, or it could have been they had it in a hard drive because it's all digital, and then they throw away the computer went bad or something, like so. Yeah, it's quite the rabbit hole there, man.
It's pretty crazy.
But essentially, Bitcoin is one of those things that's based on blockchain technology, and we could probably get somebody that's way more into it to talk to you about it.
Yeah,
because it's pretty deep, man.
No, it interests me for sure.
But yeah, because you had mentioned price fluctuation, right? The only reason it fluctuates so much is because there's so little people using it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like imagine if we all had $1 here at this table. There's 3 of us, right? If I threw my dollar away or burned it, the price of that dollar would then go up a lot more because there's less of it, right? But imagine if there's a billion of us in this room. It's impossible, but imagine there's a billion of us and one of us throws away that dollar. Do you think it's going to fluctuate that much? It's only 1 out of a billion.
Makes sense.
But if it's 1 out of 3, it's going to go up a lot, right? So that's just the foundation for why it goes up so much.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.